Good morning and welcome to your Saturday morning Yang T Yin class. So for today's practice, we're going to be needing a blanket. If you don't have one, sorry, technical difficulties. Is it running? Yeah. So if you don't have one, you can go off and dash off and grab a blanket. In the meantime, I'll just explain a little bit about what kind of class we're going to be practicing today. So Yang T Yin basically means that the first portion of the class we're going to be moving in a dynamic way to strengthen the body. In particular, today we're going to be working on the hip area. And the Yin practice, or the Yin portion of the class, will be spent sort of lengthening, releasing any tension in that same area that we're working on. Okay, so hopefully you're back with your blanket. So we're just going to open our practice today, taking hands to heart center and Anjali Mudra, releasing the chin down towards the chest, releasing any tension in the shoulders and the hips. Taking a nice deep inhale in through the nose and exhaling out through the mouth. Beautiful. On our next inhale, we're going to open our practice chanting the mantra Om Hari Om. Taking a nice deep inhale. And slowly releasing the hands and opening the eyes. So we're going to get started in child's pose. So you might already want to make use of the blanket, depending if you have sensitive knees. So you can just open it up about mat distance apart. We're going to take our knees to the edges of the mat. The toes are going to touch. We're going to walk the hands out in front, press the hips back, lower the forehead down towards the mat. And just breathe deeply here. Feeling that sensation in the hips of opening. Taking nice deep belly breaths. It's okay if your forehead doesn't touch the floor. One last deep breath here in child's pose. And on your next exhale, we're going to tuck the toes underneath, lift the hips back, downward facing dog. Okay, so in our downward dog, it might be your first downward dog of the day, so you can go ahead and pedal out the feet, releasing one knee and lengthening the other. If you're having a hard time, if your chest is sort of coming forwards, you can bend the knees, press the hands into the mat, and lift the hips up and back. And then you can kind of work to lengthen to see if the heels can make their way towards the floor. It's not necessary, but just inviting that sort of action into the body. One last deep breath here in downward dog. On the next inhale, we're going to bring the big toes together. Inhale, lift the right leg up towards the sky. We're going to open the right hip, bend the right knee, and just start to feel that opening again in the hips. Careful here that the torso is not swinging open. Just inhaling and exhaling. On the next exhale, taking the knee in towards the chest, stepping the right foot forwards. Here we're going to lower down the left knee. That blanket is very strategically placed. We're going to put the top of the left foot down on the mat as well. And here we want to feel like there's a block in between the thighs. We want to squeeze that imaginary block, bringing the right hip back, left hip forwards. And on the next inhale, pressing the right foot into the mat, pressing the left shin into the mat, lifting the arms up towards the sky. Maybe my hips start to come a little bit further forwards. Maybe you can find a tiny back bend here. And breathing for 1. Nice long arms for 2. 3, you might already start to feel the heat in the body. 4. And 5. Exhale, take the hands down towards the mat. We're going to take the right foot back. Exhale, lower down all the way to the floor. On the next inhale, coming up into baby cobra, just a little tiny back bend here. And maybe here, we start to let go of the hands for 1, 2, 3, maybe press the tops of the feet into the mat, 4, and 5. Exhale, take the hands back towards the floor, press the hips up and back, downward facing dog. We're gonna do the same thing on the other side, so bring the big toes to touch, inhale, lift the left leg up, bend the knee, open the hip, keeping the torso square towards the mat, for 1, 2, 3, 4, and take the knee in towards the chest, and step it forwards. You might have to do a few little steps to get your foot forwards, that's fine. Taking the right knee down, top of the right foot down. Again, imagining that block in between the thighs. Squeeze the block. Inhale, lift the arms up. Exhale, maybe take the hips further down. And find a little back bend. Nice long arms here. Make sure we're pressing that left foot into the mat and the right shin. Breathing here for 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Exhale, take the hands down towards the mat. Again, left knee comes back. We're going to lower all the way down. Good. On the next inhale, come up into full cobra here. A little bend in the elbows, making sure the shoulders are releasing down the back. Maybe I sit here, maybe I lengthen, press the hands to the mat, press the tops of the feet, lift the knees, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. And breathe here for 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Exhale, left knee comes down towards the mat. We're going to lengthen the right foot out. Make sure the sole of the right foot is on the mat. On the next inhale, we're going to lift the right arm up towards the sky. The right hip is opening here. For 1, 2, this might already be a challenge for the balance. 3, 4, and 5. On the next inhale, that right leg is going to start to get light. And at the same time, we're going to press out through the right heel. For 1, 2, 3, 4, and bend the right knee. Take the top of the right foot into your hand. Press the foot into the hand, hand into the foot. Open the chest for half sugar cane. For 1, 2, if you're kind of falling all over the place here, it's okay. 3, 4, and 5. Inhale. We're going to release the foot, release the hand. On the next exhale, we're going to take the right foot and just step it in front of us, kind of wherever it lands. Okay, on the next inhale, the bottom foot is going, we're going to press into the right foot, lift the hips up and back, lift the hips up, and that bottom leg is going to lengthen out. So we're on the outside of the left foot. Yes? So we came into this sort of side plank here. So we're making sure here that the hips aren't dumping. We're pressing into the hand, pressing into the feet, lifting the hips up for 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale. Now we're going to start to lower the right hip and at the same time reach the right arm back. Inhale, lift up. We'll do that 2 more times. Exhale, down. Inhale, up. Last time, exhale, down. Inhale, up. Good, we're going to take the right hand down towards the mat, come to the toes on the left side, and come into high plank. And we're just going to hang out here for 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Exhale, the right knee is going to come down. I'm going to switch over to the side. You guys don't have to move, just doing it so that you can see. So my right knee comes down towards the mat. The left foot is going to come back behind me. I'm going to come to the sole of the left foot. On the next inhale, I'm going to reach the left arm up towards the mat, towards the sky, and breathe here for 1, 2, 3. Again, this might already be a challenge for the balance. That's okay. 4, and 5. On the next inhale, that left foot is going to start to rise up. We're pressing out with the left heel for 1, 2, 3, 4, and exhale, bending in the knee, taking the top of the left foot. We're going to press the foot into the hand to the foot, open the chest, half sugar cane for 1, 2, focusing on your breathing, 3, 4, and 5. Inhale, release. That left foot is going to come out in front. So from here, we're just taking it in front of our right hip. Okay? That left foot is going to start to press into the mat to lift my right hip, and I'm going to take that right leg back. Yes, so I'm on the outside edge of my right foot. Inhale, side plank for 1, 2. You can gaze at your hand if that feels good for your neck, or you can gaze forwards or down, depending on your neck. 3, 4. And exhale, we're going to start to lower down that right hip, reach back with the left hand. And inhale up. Exhale, lower down. And inhale up. Exhale, last time, lower down. And inhale up. On the next exhale, we're going to come back to our high plank. My favorite pose. And breathe here for 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Exhale, open the knees. Come back into child's pose. Just take a rest here for a moment. And on the next inhale, gaze forwards. We're going to tuck the toes underneath, come back to downward facing dog. Inhale, gazing in between the hands. We're going to start to step or walk the feet. Inhale. Sorry, I'm going to come back because I think I'm out of frame here. Inhale, we're going to take the hands to the shins, gaze forwards. And exhale, release. Bending the knees, tucking the tailbone underneath. We're going to start to slowly roll up the spine, vertebra by vertebra. Inhale, reach the arms up towards the sky. And exhale, take the hands to the heart. Close the eyes here. And just observe for a moment. Observe your breathing. Observe any heat that's been created in the body. Or moisture. On the next inhale, releasing the hands, opening the eyes. So you don't have to move. Again, I'm just changing my hands for the camera. So, taking hands to heart center. We're going to come into Utkatasana or chair pose. So, in this version, we'll keep our legs together. And we're just going to start to bend the knees and take a seat in an imaginary chair. Okay, so I'm going to look down. If I can't see my toes, I'm going to take my thighs a little further back in space. Okay, so here we're trying to avoid like a super arch in the back. We're just going to create a bit more of a natural lengthening in the spine here. So maybe you want to come down a little bit further. And maybe we release the arms up. So here we really want to feel like we're pressing and hugging the thighs together. Imagine again that block. So we're hugging that block. Inhale, lift the arms, nice long arms here. And we're going to start to get light in the heels and start to take the shift the weight forwards, come up to the toes. So we're lifting up the heels. And we're smiling for 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. We're going to start to lengthen the legs. Woo, this is a real test for the balance here. If you kind of fall out of it, that's okay. Just do your best to come back in. So on the exhale, we're not going to change a thing. We still got these heels lifted. We're going to see, again, testing the balance. If we can start to twist the torso to the right, hips stay front. back to center. We're going to do the same on the other side. So hips stay front, torso twist to the left. And coming back to center. On the next exhale, we're going to start to bend the knees, lower down, all the way down slowly. If you can come down to your to your heels, that's fine. If not, you can stay in your chair pose. If we're coming down to the heels, we're going to open the knees, join the hands together, and just breathe for a last 3 rounds for 1, 2, 3, and exhale, take the hands to heart center, then take the knees back to center, lift up last time. Exhale, take the heels back down. We're going to reach back with that right foot. Good. So if the blanket is kind of in your way, like for me, we're just going to kind of scoot that out of the way. So we're coming to a high lunge here. Yes? So my left knee is at about a 90-degree angle, if that feels good for your knee. And the right leg is, I'm on the toes of my right foot, and I'm pressing back with the right heel. Again, I'm imagining this imaginary block in between the thighs, and I'm going to squeeze the block with the thighs. Right hip is coming forward, left hip is coming back. Yes, and inhale, reach the arms up for 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, take the hands behind you, interlace the fingers, open the chest, and maybe on the exhale, we're going to bow forwards. For 1, 2, 3, 4, and inhale, bring the chest back up. We're going to release the hands, and we're going to start to pivot on the right foot. So we're just going to come facing the side. So my toes are facing out, my heels are facing in. We don't have to have a really huge stride here with the legs, just a little bit further than shoulder distance. So we're going to start to lower down here. Hands are going to come onto the thighs. And on the exhale, we're going to twist. Left shoulder comes in towards center. Right shoulder gazes up towards the sky for 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, come back. Switch. For 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Inhale, come back. We're going to start to turn again here. So coming into the same pose that we were in on the other side. So into this lunge pose, I'm just going to move my blanket a little bit. So the right leg is at a 90-degree angle this time. Left heel is pressing back. Nice long left leg. Again, imagining that block, squeezing the thighs. Inhale, reach the arms up for 1. Maybe come down a little bit. 2, 3, 4, and 5. Exhale, release the hands behind the back. Interlace hands. Open the chest. Exhale, maybe bow forwards. For 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Inhale, come back to center. Exhale, again, we're going to twist, come back to the same shape on the lateral portion of the mat. So toes are facing out, heels are facing in. So we're going to start to lift the left heel. Good. Exhale, bring that back down. We're going to go to the other side. Lift the right heel. Ooh. Exhale, back down. Take hands to heart center in Anjali Mudra or prayer pose. You might want to say a prayer before this one. So we're going to start to lift both heels. Woo! And breathe here for 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Exhale, bring the heels back down. We're going to lengthen the legs. Inhale, reach the arms up. We're just going to heel toe the feet, just so that the toes now are facing forwards. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, the hips start to come back, chest comes forwards, and we're reaching the arms forwards for 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Exhale, release. Maybe take the weight or walk the hands, over to the left. And then walk them over to the right. And coming back to center. We're going to heel toe the feet together again. Just about one little step here. Excuse me. Okay, so again, toes are facing out, heels are facing in. If I can't get my heels to touch the floor, I'm gonna get my blanket, I'm gonna fold it so that the blanket can go underneath my heels, and I can come to a little bit more of a comfortable place here. Yes? If you have a block or a book or something next to you, you can also kind of have a seat on the block if your heels are having a really hard time coming onto the floor. Okay? But the blanket should be an okay mechanism here. Okay? So wherever you are, hands are going to come to heart center. We're going to take the elbows into the knees. We're going to lengthen in the spine. Coming into Malasana, or garland pose, our first yin pose. So the hard part's done, or physically hard part is done, I guess. So in the yin practice, we hang out in the poses for a little bit longer. Could be anywhere, maybe like a minute, 2 minutes, 5 minutes it could be, in order to work on less superficial areas of the body. Sometimes the yin practice can be a little bit emotionally provocative for some people. So if there are any emotions that start to come up, just notice. Any thoughts? Might be a lot of thoughts. Because the body stops doing, and then the mind starts working. So we're going to close the eyes here. This might be a really, really comfortable pose for you, and you might be thinking, I can hang out here all day, Ambika. That's great. Some of you might not be feeling that at all. So wherever you are, just kind of be with it. Notice without becoming too attached to anything you're noticing. Here for about 30 more seconds. So we're going to slowly release the hands, and we're going to start to press the feet into the mat, lift the hips up, lengthen the legs, maybe take the blanket out of the way and just grab hold of either elbow here and just dangle. Maybe take the weight to the left and then over to the right. And back. And then back to center. We're going to take the hands to the mat and slowly lower the sit bones back down towards the floor this time. So maybe taking the hands back behind you to catch your fall. And we're going to lengthen the feet forwards. Okay, our next yin pose, we're going to take the right foot, bend the right leg, sorry. And our right ankle is going to come and rest on the left thigh, okay? So very gentle transition here, making sure we're not wrenching in the knee here, just a very gentle transition. So this might already be very intense for you. So again, find what feels good for you. If you're like, no, Ambika, I can handle a little bit more, I think, we're gonna start to bend the left leg, place the left sole of the foot on the floor. We're going to lengthen in the spine. You're gonna come a little bit further back so you can see a little bit better. And my hands, I'm gonna interlace the fingers and kind of hug my leg, yes? And just find length in the spine. So you'll start feeling this in this area, okay? So again, some of you, this might be very, very intense. Some of you, you can hang out here all day. Wherever you are, just kind of notice, okay? And try to find length in the spine. If this is kind of uncomfortable, like this hugging thing, you don't have to be with elbows on either sides. You can have one elbow in front, or you can have both hands on the floor. That's also an option. Okay, just looking for length in the spine and looking for sensation that is positive to your practice. Okay, so again here we'll start to close the eyes, start to go a little bit more internal, breathing. So again, the yin practice can be quite challenging on the mind. If you're having a hard time with the thoughts that are coming up, I encourage you can always practice 4-4 breathing, which is inhaling for a count of 4. Four. Inhale for 1, 2, 3, 4, and exhale for 1, 2, 3, 4. And just like that, using your own breath. Okay. So again, we'll be on this side for about 30 more seconds. And slowly begin to release. It's beginning to lengthen the left leg underneath us. So the next pose, we're going to come into half shoelace. So this position, again, might already be very, very intense for you, and that's okay. You can stay there. If you want to go a little bit deeper, you can start to walk that right foot over to the left, And kind of have knees parallel, like one knee right on top of the other sort of thing in your positioning. Okay, so we're gonna take the hands to either side of the hips. Inhale, lengthen in the spine. And on the exhale, we're gonna start to crawl the hands forwards. You're gonna start to feel this in the back of the left leg. You'll feel it even more if you activate the left toes. So it's like the toes want to touch the forehead. Yes, so it can be quite intense. In yin, we don't encourage that you go to your 100% right away, but that you gradually start to get there. Okay, using the breath and using time to slowly melt into each pose. Okay. So beginning to close the eyes if that feels good for you. Beginning to use your 4-4 breathing if that's working for you. If not, just spending the next few moments in silence. With your internal world, with your body and your breath. You might find that you can go a little bit deeper now. Maybe not, depending on where you are today. We've got a little bit under 1 minute left in this pose. Maybe a last deepening here. A few more breaths. And slowly beginning to walk the hands back towards you. Gently starting to walk the right foot back to center, maybe helping it cross over to the right side. We're going to bend the left leg and just give ourselves a little hug here. You might find that one side feels a lot longer than the other, so we'll balance that out in a second. So we need to lengthen the right leg. Okay. Again, we're going to gently take the left foot and place the left ankle on top of the right thigh. Okay. Again, might be your limit here. That's great, we can work from here. If not, we're going to start to bend the right leg, take the sole of the right foot to the floor, and find a little hug here. Sort of hug the shin, the calf, the foot and the knee, and find length in the spine. Yes, so lifting in the heart space. So easing your way into this pose again, finding whatever hand or leg position feels like you're working, but that there's no pain. We don't want pain in yoga. We want to feel lengthened, We want to feel challenged, but not pain. I'd also like to take this time to say thank you to everybody who's watching, to everybody who's taking this time to better themselves, better your day, better your quarantine. So thank you very much for joining us this morning. Got about 15 more seconds on this side. And slowly going to start to lengthen the right leg back down onto the floor. Coming into half shoelace on the left side. So again, this might already be where you want to work, or you might want to start to walk that right foot over to the right, kind of bring left knee on top of the right knee. Take the hands to either side of the body. Inhale, lengthen in the spine. We're going to activate that right foot, and on the exhale, start to walk the hands down, heart comes forwards. And smile. That always makes the poses more fun. And it makes us remember, oh, I like yoga. Maybe also taking the time to express gratitude. There are so many things at this time that we can be grateful for. We can fill our hearts with sort of treasure chest of gratitude that we can open up at any time and feel its richness, feel its bounty. So maybe taking the time to add a little piece of treasure to that treasure chest by expressing gratitude for anything or any circumstance or anyone that you might feel particularly grateful for today. So 30 more seconds on the side. Breathing deeply. Maybe finding, oh, look at that, I can go a little bit deeper now. Maybe not. It's okay. And slowly starting to walk the hands back towards the torso. Again, maybe just heel-toeing the foot back towards the left, and again assisting the left leg over to the left side. We're going to bend the right knee, and again just give ourselves a little hug here. So we're going to come into our final yin pose before finalizing our practice. So we're going to lay down on our backs. We're going to come into Ananda Balasana, or happy bee pose. So we're going to take our knees in towards the chest. And depending on our flexibility, maybe we're going to grab the shins here. Maybe we're going to grab the insides of the arches. Or maybe we're going to grab the outsides of the feet. Whatever is accessible to you this morning is where we're going to be. Okay, we're going to encourage the lower back. If it's starting to sort of lift, we're going to just encourage it to melt onto the floor. Again, closing the eyes here, feeling that opening and releasing in the hips. They might be a little bit tight if you've been working at home at a desk. If you haven't been able to get out and really stretch your legs a little bit. If you've been sitting at home watching a lot of Netflix, the hips might be a little bit tight. For just a few more breaths here. Beautiful. So we're going to slowly take the knees back to center, release the feet or the shins. Give yourself a little hug. Take the arms back in cactus. We're going to just allow the knees to drop over to the right. Taking our gaze maybe towards the left. Just coming into a little twist. Very gentle, easy twist here. And inhale, taking the knees back to center. Gonna do the same on the other side. Allow the knees to fall over to the left, taking our gaze towards the right if that feels good for the neck. And just breathing. Inhale, taking the knees back to center. We're going to drop the soles of the feet to the mat. And I always like to invite students to finish class doing any kind of movement that they might feel like their body is needing before finishing up. So it might be just a few gentle bridges, or you might want to extend the knees, extend the legs, lengthen the legs, and just come into a little sort of mini inversion here. Or it might just be coming straight into Shavasana, which is fine. If you're a little bit, if you get cold, you might want to put some socks on, or a sweater. And we're gonna start getting into our Shavasana, lengthening the legs in front of us, taking the arms to either side of the body. Palms are facing up. You might wanna invite the chin to come a little bit further in towards the chest, just to help lengthen the spine on the floor. Maybe the shoulder blades get tucked under. And slowly beginning to release any tension in the body for this final meditation. Beginning to scan the body, the feet, the soles of the feet, the toes, the tops of the feet, the heels, the ankles, the shins and the calves, releasing in the knees and the backs of the knees, the thighs, the backs of the thighs, the hips, the hip joints, the glutes, the abdomen, the belly button, the organs and intestines. The ribs, the space in between the ribs, the chest, the heart, the shoulders, armpits, upper arm, elbows, forearm, wrists, the palms of the hands, the backs of the hands, the fingers, the lower back, the mid back, and the upper back. Each vertebra, the space in between each vertebra, the spine, the neck, the throat, the head and the face, chin, jaw, cheeks, nose, lips, tongue, the ears, the eyes, eyelids, eyebrows, the space in between the eyebrows, the temples, the forehead, the hairline and the hair, the brain, the thoughts, any emotions, the entire being is relaxed. beginning to deepen the breath, filling the belly and the chest with air. Beginning to roll the fingertips and the toes, perhaps moving the head slightly from side to side. Beginning to reach the arms up and back behind the head. Reaching the toes in front as well. Just giving a nice deep stretch as though you're waking up in the morning. And on the next exhale, we're going to turn over onto one side into a comfortable fetal position, maybe using your arm as a pillow. And just taking a moment here, again, to be grateful for this practice. Thanking yourself for your discipline and gifting yourself with some movement that's ultimately going to make you a better husband, wife, son, daughter, friend, worker, leader. And again, if you want to take another moment here just to express any gratitude for anything or anyone you feel particularly grateful for today. It's never too much gratitude. And when you feel ready, pressing your hand into the mat, coming up slowly to a comfortable seated position. We're going to take our hands to heart center in Anjali Mudra. Again, releasing the chin towards the chest. We're going to take a nice deep inhale in through the nose. And exhale through the mouth on a sigh. Releasing all the tension. Inhale. And exhale. One last time, inhaling. And exhaling. So before we close our practice today, I just wanted to share some words of wisdom. Something that I heard a few years ago that I continue to play over in my mind, that I wanted to share with all of you, especially during these times. Neither knowledge nor power, but only affection can bring us satisfaction. So to wherever you may be, wherever you are, sending you a very big virtual hug. Make sure whoever you're with that they're receiving your affection as well, and that if there's anything that you might want to share via Instagram, via Facebook, anything to also give to your community, be it online at this time, then all of those are ways that we can kind of express affection and find that satisfaction on a more profound level inside of us. So we're going to close our practice today chanting the same mantra as the beginning of class, Om Hari Om, releasing the shoulders, lengthening in the spine, taking a nice deep inhale. Om. Thank you again to each and every one of you for taking the time to practice with us this morning. I can't see you right now on the screen, but I'm sending everybody a very big thank you. Thank you for allowing me to be a part of your practice, to be a part of your lives during these times, and thank you very much for being a part of mine as well. If you have any questions or anything, please feel free to comment You can also follow me on Instagram, yoga.ambika, and we can connect that way as well. Thank you very much again to all of you, wherever you are. Namaste.